2 Megapops is an achievement in Balloons Tower Defense 6 where you need to get 2 million or more pops with a single tower that you've placed throughout the 95 rounds of CHIMPS. And we're going to be doing this with the Dark Knight via the Dark Monkey via Geraldo's wonderful Worn Capes item. So how about we're going to do this then? We're going to place a Dark Monkey here and then a Engineer Monkey all the way down here so they can access this little path here, but I don't want it too close to this middle section here. On round 10 we can place down Geraldo. Ultimately it will be a waste of money because Worn Hero's Cape will remove any upgrades from the Dark Monkey anyways, but I feel like going to 022 is going to be quite necessary for us to try and survive this, although I think it's not necessarily a absolute, but it's just there so that we can actually get through these rounds just a bit more easily. How are we going to fare against pink balloons on round 15? Because this is usually the killer of some runs, honestly, just because of how fast they go. Just like that. Will we fare any better with some pickles? We shoot less, but we will hit more powerfully per dart. And the answer is yes, we can. Regrow balloons, if you set on strong, just go to first so that you can actually pop the regrows, because if you're always set on strong, then you're always targeting yellow or green balloons. We are struggling on some of these rounds, so some super glues early on might be able to get us over the finish line here. But speaking of which, of glue, I'm going to place down 2 different glue gunners over here. One of them is going to be middle path and one of them is going to be top path. Ooh, that's very close to them escaping there, but going on last is sometimes the best option so that you're using up all of the PS that you have available. We require another tube of glue in order to get through this round as well, because the first one ended and now this one can commence. Slowing them down is sometimes better than innately getting more power onto the field. Also, because we have enhanced eyesight, we'll be able to deal with the first camo that appears throughout the entire game. Leave the zebras be for just a little bit, because they are not the fastest balloons, but we kind of need something else, so yeah, we need to reapply a pickle here so we can get through this round. Last place? Last? Ah, that's because the tube of glue ends. And yeah, telling them to pink is not ideal. Do we need another tube of glue for this round? Okay, now we can put Worn's Hero's Cape on it. I didn't want to level up Geraldo any more than just his natural leveling up progression, so that's why I kind of left it until quite late. So what's our solution for lead balloons? It was going to be cleansing foam, but obviously as you can see, we can't do that. We're in much better standings now to get cleansing foam, which is going to be our cure for lead balloons. The strategy behind getting to this point is to not use sharpening stone at all, because we only get +1 PS out of it anyways, but we need cleansing foam to counteract with these leads early on in the game. And honestly, we're going to get overclock anyways for our Dark Knight, so it's all in good standings. For this particular run, we're going to go with 023 rather than the additional power per projectile, simply because I still want to be able to utilize the sharpening stone. If we go top path, then we're going to have issues with purples very early on, and we won't have anything when it comes to like purples aside from our Engineer Monkey here. And to be honest, I'd rather not rely on our Engineer only to be able to pop purples, because they go quite fast. Epic range as well, because epic range is much more epic than just super range. Why settle for super when you can have epic? Oh, round 37 and 38 are relentless when it comes to lead balloons. I forget sometimes that these 2 rounds are quite oh my god, a lead balloon escape there. Are quite annoying when it comes to tackling lead balloons, honestly. I should have done a little bit of microing there with a thumb so that we can get all those wonderful, I mean horrible leads. We have one little escapee here, but if we manage this, then we should be able to do this. Also, Ultra Vision for the win, so that we have a little bit more range. If it wasn't for that it gives slightly more range, we wouldn't go with Ultra Vision, simply because we would have a MIB, then Call to Arms up and running for this particular run. Also, this is pretty good. I'll place 2 monkey villages here, both of them at 002 for the moment, so that we can get a little bit more efficiency when it comes to our costs here for both our glue gunners and also the Dark Knight later on, but also with the villagers as well. Like, you can get like their MIBs and, well, we'll go to primary mentoring just a little bit earlier, a little bit cheaper for the tier 3s and below upgrades. So only really beneficial for our lovely super monkey here when we get the MIB, because it means we don't have to solely rely on our cleansing foam models to get through the lead layer of these balloons. Right now, Pickles really helps us out, but when we get a Dark Knight, when it does more damage to Moa class balloons, I think it'll be more of a hindrance than a benefit to have Pickles. It'll be a benefit towards regular balloons, but when it comes to Moa class balloons, I think Pickles will be a hindrance rather than a benefit. I just panic brought that. I don't know why I did that for, really. I was supposed to click on the wonderful MIB. Just go on this and select the wrong cross path, for goodness sakes. Do you know what would be a massive nerf to Geraldo, or more or less sharpening stone, is if a tower is affected by an MIB, you cannot apply a sharpening stone to that tower anymore, because of the fact that you have a means of counteracting your weaknesses to leads and frozens. Like, that would be a bit of a troll move by Ninja Kiwi. And if you actually get MIB while having sharpening stone, it would remove sharpening stone as well. Like, I don't know why, but I can just picture Ninja Kiwi doing that. Okay, here is Dark Knight. We won't be using the Dark Shift ability, although if we actually really need to, we could use it for around 100, but I don't see a benefit towards that. Like, perhaps slightly to the right so that we're still in range of both of the villages, but I just don't see how that is beneficial towards us. Also, since it has now got a bigger footprint, technically you shouldn't be able to place these two glue gunners down. Do I prefer Jerry's Fire on our Super Monkey here, which is quite surprising. Usually we'll just book it for Jerry's Fire as soon as we can possibly unlock it. This time around I've held myself back, just to save that little bit of money so that we can actually go through these rounds and be able to afford things just a little bit more quickly. Shall we go Call to Arms next, or a Glue Strike, or an Overclock? The choices are endless! Although we do know that we need the Jerry's Fire for round 63 and one of those, and I think that's where we're going to hold off. I don't think we're going to need anything else. Like, the additional Pierce is very nice when it comes to the Dark Knight. Also, I believe when you go to Dark Champion, you can no longer go with the Sharpening Stone on it, because then you'll be able to pop any kind of balloon. Lead balloons, frozen balloons, purple balloons, black balloons, white balloons, all different sorts of balloons. You can pop a balloon, you can pop a balloon, and you over there can pop a balloon. We can all pop balloons for the sake of our true sun god overlords. We now have an overclock on the field, which means now we can attack super duper fast. We could put an alchemist down to buff our Dark Knight here, but here's the thing when it comes to the Super Monkey. Because it fires at such an incredibly fast rate, it is almost useless to have a stronger stimulant alchemist, onto our Super Monkey here. And what it's actually going to do is just going to take away pops from us, in which we really need, because of the fact that it only applies itself very microscopically onto our Super Monkey because it fires super duper fast. Sonic the Bush Hog has nothing when it comes to the fire rate of this Super Monkey. Also, what's Geraldo gained now? Nothing that will benefit us, although next level, that will definitely benefit us. Being able to see further? Sign me up. Glue Strike for rounds, like the next several rounds, actually is going to be quite beneficial when it comes to delivering extra damage. Although it is a double-edged sword, because it means that stuff like our Overclock Engineer and Geraldo will also be able to dish out additional damage towards Glue Struck or Glue Stormed balloons. There goes round 75, and round 76 has been dealt with. Excellent. I was a little bit worried about some of those regrows, but then again, we have this regrow blocker here, which is lovely. There's around 78, and yeah, Glue Strike has really helped us out there. We definitely need that additional damage right about now onto the balloons. So I think Quarter Arms is going to be our next purchase. The next thing we're going to require in order to get through this scenario. Don't think we need the Sharpening Stone until it's the better version, which I believe we're going to get at round 81. So when it comes to Quarter Arms, we're going to need it soon. Do we even need Sharpening Stone right about now, actually? Like, every bit of Pierce is going to be very helpful right about now because of these regrow rainbows. And because of the fact that the BFBs soak up a lot of Pierce, it means that if we try and target the regrow rainbows, sometimes we're not hitting the regrow rainbows, but we're hitting the BFBs, which are otherwise, like, covering up their presence, really. Like, sometimes the bigger balloons can act as bait to soak up all of the Pierce, because I believe the bigger the Moab class balloon is, the more Pierce they consume in order to pop. So let's combine both Blue Strike and that, and a Overclock. But because we cannot go past these tiers, it means we cannot cheat our way to a Dark Champion, or as some people call, the Dank Champion. Now that we have the means of operations that we have when it comes to offense, now we gotta think defensively. Well, obviously these are defensive, but we need other supporting towers down, such as 4 of these balloon sappers on the field to permanently slow them down by about 50% as long as the ability is in duration, or if the balloons have not turned into children from their predecessors. But Jerry's Hot Sauce is right here. You get yourself a wonderful dose of extra burdiness. And I still hate the fact sometimes that Glue Strike / Glue Storm with Relentless Glue do not stack properly. That's still something that Ninja Kiwi really needs to fix. Because if they're able to implement a system similarly to what they have in Battles 2, in order to make one of your 3 towers a bit more viable to use, like for goodness sakes, if you can only use 3 towers in a hero, which is the aim of the game really, to be able to strategize what kind of thing you have going for in order to be able to win against your opponent. Because I've heard that in order to win in that game, you can't play the game, but you gotta play the other player. You gotta be able to counteract whatever they have in store for you. And I'm not a person that is huge when it comes to battling against other people. Like, it's kind of similar to battling AI, but AI only works in certain ways, and I suppose people only work in certain ways, but with enough knowledge when it comes to AI, you can outsmart it. But when it comes to people, you can't really outsmart someone who is like really good at what they do. Like, you gotta be top tier in order to take down the best players in that game. So yeah, round 89, here we go. So Battles 2 was not something that I really wanted to do for this channel. Like, I'll probably explore other kind of balloons games, like the Super Monkey games where you fly around, you get different upgrades and pop balloons that way. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's not like a rogue style game, but you can either go on adventures and you have to get all your upgrades in one setting, or you go on adventure, you progressively get more, I forgot what they're called, but they're like little dots on the screen that you have to have your Super Monkey over in order to cover them over, and you can actually upgrade like little means so that your ability to collect things is wider, or you can have it so that by the off chance a sharp kind of projectile can pop a lead, or is there something actually called a glass balloon, which makes like plasma damage non-effective whatsoever? Is it glass, or is it another one which removes the means of, because they didn't have purple balloons back then, but they definitely had glass balloons. Blue Storm is up and operational. Quarter Arms, Balloon Sabo, ability active. Yeah, having Glue Storm is much more beneficial, but still it's an even bigger double-edged sword. Because yes, you can apply the Glue Storm much more often now than the Glue Strike, but it also means that towers like the Engineer Monkey, Geraldo, and these Ninja Monkeys can potentially get more pops per shot. Which is, again, the other side of the sword. Round 94. And what we are doing right now, oh my goodness sake, yes. Sometimes this doesn't work properly and our Relentless Glue is constantly trying to fire on these balloons, but we cannot because the ability overrides our abilities to provide the Relentless Glue onto a Glue Storm struck balloon. Okay, the big question is, can we get Call to Arms back for the DTs on this round? I'd like to think so, but that's not always going to be the case. What you like to think and what you're getting can be two completely different ballparks. So we don't have the better invisibility potion just yet. We do have Glue Storm back, which is nice, and we definitely have Call to Arms back. Lovely. I did kind of wanted to try and do a 022 Super Monkey, but I haven't done Dark Knight yet, and in my test games of trying to do it, I kept getting under 2 Megapops, or I just could not do it, period. I was like pulling my own hair out trying to get enough damage on these balloons without taking too many pops away. I also tried to do it so that the overclock was over here, but the trouble is it was able to reach over here, so this position over here works much more effectively. You can still kind of cover for these tracks over here, but you're not able to reach up there in order to be able to innately pop the Moab class balloons while they're up there, although it can still target them if they get their way down here, which is what's happening right now. And no, this is not good. Call to Arms, I need you now more than ever. Thank you. Glue Storm now that the wonderful balloons over here are no longer in range of the Engineer, although that is now a false statement. False statement. Go back. Unsubscribe from Flare Balloons. I'm just kidding. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. And click that notification bell as well, so that in the future when I upload a video, you'll be the first to know about it. You know that bell on the top right hand corner, just below? Is it just above? I don't even know anymore. I'm just going to view my own channel and see what that is. I can't even do that because I can't. And I'd rather not risk a video playing as well, but it's definitely somewhere near the subscribe button. And for goodness sakes, I've forgotten where that is exactly. Oh, we've lost our visibility potion. No worries, we can just reapply it and get that additional range back up and running. And also, because of the fact that it's now the level 19 version, we can now do more damage against camo balloons, which is very handy against those DDTs. All bonuses that we can get are lovely. Also, with this, we're now going to go to absolute zero, because there's going to be absolute zero chances that we're going to be able to do this without the slowdown of these Moab Gloss balloons. Permafrost is so underrated, honestly. Yeah, Engineer Monkey's got 10,000 pops now, which is really not ideal. Although Geraldo's only got 173, which is kind of more than ideal. Absolute Zero, I'm gonna need you at some point. Let's use Snowstorm first, then Glue Storm, so it doesn't give it extra damage. Although I think it must have been too soon, and we still do that extra damage. These fortified balloons need to go. Call to Arms, activate. I need you now more than ever to deal with these remaining balloons on screen. Okay, we got absolute zero now, which is very good. Very, very good. I don't really want to use this. Oh, hold on. We want to put these two down. Thank you very much. We'll replace them down over here so that when the bad is popped, we maximize the efficiency of being able to chuck back the DDTs and all that, ZMGs, slow them all down. So that's why they're all going to be over there. Let's see, absolute zero. How are we when it comes to pops? Ooh, this could be bad here, actually. And I don't think we have the money for a Spike Storm as well. Some strategizing might be required here in order for us to get... Yeah, we're going to restart the round anyways. With what we have left, we cannot really get anything else other than a Merv Shredder with bigger stacks. Although I think I could do even better if I try and position this above, well, within the vicinity of these two so that we can actually get the discount so that we can afford put some other things if we can throughout this round. Although I'd rather not be able to pop DDTs, but I think by the time they get here, they won't be able to, like, affect DDTs because they'll be too far away. But I'd rather have it in one concentrated area rather than two. But I'm not going to get everything because of how much money we have left. Apply Sharpening Stone or... No, I think we'll just save up for a rejuve potion and then we'll go from there. Let's see, how are we going to fare against the bad here? Okay, it's down to some of its plasters, which is nice. Oh, the tail end is plastered. Like, the bad whale is probably the best badge you can have when it comes to, like, their visual indications of how far they are along their health. Oh, lovely. That's actually a really good position for it to be popped, probably. Because this cannot target it. Oh, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it all right. Yeah, we've got it. Oh my god, that's much better than my other test game when it comes to Dark Knight. Because I was just barely be able to get it with like 2,003,000 pops. And I had more total damage as well than this as well. But this is a really good game, actually. Like, I was really happy with our progression. Aside from the very beginning... But you can say that pretty much about any kind of scenario when it comes to the beginning. You're always going to struggle to try and get your run up and running. But we didn't really need all of these, I think. Like, I've actually forgotten, like, what point that they were in. But I honestly love the fact that we can get Geraldo just before getting to level 20 on round 98. So that you can put down these creepy idols. And then you'll be able to have 4 of them on a beginner map on round 100. Like, I think that's just a very special niche when it comes to Geraldo, because normally you can only really have 2 down at a time. I've forgotten the rate in which you get these back, but I don't think you'll be able to place... You will be able to place another one down, I think. So I think in total you can have 5, but that's pretty much the max. So rely on Geraldo leveling up after placing down the 2 creepy idols and then go from there. So yeah, I'm not sure how they'd be able to do a 022 run. I prefer this cross path and trying to go top cross path simply because of the factor that we'll lose our ability to get the Sharpening Stone, which is why I went with these 2, because of the factor that you can get increased damage, but then you can also circumvent your needs of the Plasma Blast to counter leads, because we have the MIB and then Call to Arms up and running here. Also, the assist here for the glue gunners here, and being able to reduce the cooldown of the glue storm ability. So that it's like 90% uptime. Like, it's not 100%. If you have the expertise or an energizer up and running as well, then it would be 100%, but obviously we don't have that. Also, you can't place down an energizer on chimps on this map. And if you manage to do so, then you might be somehow being able to conjure it out of nothing and be able to do the support Chinook / special operations bug that was present in update 40 and 40.1. But I think that's been fixed now in update 40.2, although Ninja Kiwi has not yet released patch notes as to what's changed. Because in the future, I'd like to be able to do a discussion video about Corvus, because he is pretty much OP. But he's only OP if you're able to use his abilities in conjunction... Sorry, his spells in conjunction with his other spells properly. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. We've only got a few maps left in the beginners section in order to try and complete a 2 Megapops run on. Like, we've still got Inverloop, Tree Stump, we've got, I believe, Scrapyard left, and Skates, Duncarve. I haven't done one on Alpine Run. So 4 maps left in order to try and do a 2 Megapops on. And that's brilliant. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves.